Babe, it has been a year of life with Beckham Adam Jackson. One of the funniest things he does.
When he gets excited.
What's he do when he gets excited?
We go, Beckham, can you get excited? And he's like, and he just freezes, and it's like he breaks, and he can't get out of it.
Yeah.
That's my fave. What about you?
Probably one of the funniest things Beckham does is he lifts all the vents and
That's
puts
not funny.
all of his toys down them without us ever
Even
knowing.
a little funny.
I think it's hilarious.
That's the worst.
And he thinks it's hilarious.
It's crazy that he can talk to us.
He's getting smart.
And that he can, like, communicate what he wants and what he thinks. Yeah, and he can
Good
point.
communication, buddy. I will never forget the time that we were sitting at Onyx and we were talking about his lesson from church, and he learned the motions in church of who created everything. He points to God, and I asked him, and he understood it. I said, Beckham, who created mommy? And he pointed up to God. And I said, who created daddy? And he pointed up to God. And I said, who created the dog, Bonhoeffer? And he pointed up to God. And so that for me was really special and sweet to see him growing up and not only just learning, but even getting to learn about his creator. So that was one of my favorite moments of the year. How about you?
I feel like he's gone through so many different seasons, and he's only been alive for a year, but there's been so many different Beckhams that we've gotten to know. One of my favorites the first time he was able to stand on the crib, and he would just stand on like the corner of the crib and look and be like, Mama, Mama, when he actually like knows who it is and knows that it's us. And the first time I walked in and you were reading him Brown Bear, and you guys were cuddled up and doing the...
What about, like, every day? What's one of the things you look forward to doing with him?
I love going for walks, and I love talking to him. Like, when they're first born, they're just, like, it's just so different. And I would talk to him all the time, and I would, like, tell him how I was feeling and ask how he was feeling, but, like, there wasn't really reciprocal communication. And so now we can go to the park and sit down and talk, and he, like, knows some of the things I'm saying, and he knows that I'm being intentional and knows that I care, and we've dance parties like every 10 minutes. So
my Sunday mornings with him on the square are by far one of my favorite times during the week. That we just get to hang out and no phone, no distractions, just Daddy Beckham time. It's always a win.
Like, what surprised you the most?
About having Beckham?
Just about being a dad.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got married and you think there's no way I'm ever gonna love someone like as much as, like, there's no room in my heart to love someone more, and then God just creates that space that Beckham has a special place in my heart and always will, and
right?
It's a different kind of love, and I didn't expect that. You know, I think, yeah, just he changed everything. So yeah, you think you can't get any more love in your heart for a person, and then he comes into your life and you're being funny. His sense of humor, yeah, he's just always a surprise.
He is funny.
If you were going to describe Beckham in 3 words, what would your 3 words be?
He would be spirited, enthusiastic, and genuine. Everything that he feels really big, and he feels really purely.
Yeah, he's passionate in everything he does. He goes 100%.
Like 90%.
He's bold. He's pretty fearless. There's not much he isn't willing to try or do except for broccoli. 3rd word, he loves very big. I think there's it's fun, like in the past year, there's never been an experience that's been negative with other people or other creatures. Any dog that walks past him, he wants to pet. Anybody, strangers at the splash pad, he wants to high five. Yeah, I think he loves people really, really bigly.
It surprises me constantly that one of my favorite parts of parenting, in a way, doesn't even involve Beckham. It's just you and I, and what it's meant for a marriage. And you think that everything about being a parent involves the kid, but so much of it is just you and me getting to do it together. And once he's in bed, like you and I getting to talk about him and talk about how we want to approach the next day and the next year. And yeah, it's fun to do with you, babe. I feel like the biggest roadblock has just been a lot of my own fears and insecurities and trying to figure out what kind of mom Beckham needs me to be versus what kind of mom I thought a mom was supposed to be. And so I think the biggest challenge has just been finding my own way and figuring out what motherhood looks like for me and Beckham, and the fact that like I'm kind of quirky and I'm probably not, I don't approach things in a very normal way, and that's okay. And that's always what the Lord wanted from me, and always who the Lord wanted Beckham's mom to be.
Beckham means our comfort, our homestead by the stream, and translates to peace. And even just seeing like peace is not the absence of chaos. It's in the midst of chaos. And so for our little baby boy to be so passionate and off the wall, but every day he brings you and I even closer together. Yeah, it's huge.
I don't think I expected the weight that I would feel. Like, it sounds like a really big weight that this person, you're in charge of this person, but you don't realize how heavy that is until you realize how much you're gonna love them. And so now that he's here and I'm like, I love you, so, like I ask you all the time, we'll be sitting in the car and I'm like, do you ever just love him so much that like it kind of hurts? Like, it makes you like, your stomach knot up because you just love him so much. To love someone that much and then have them be so dependent on you and know how much they need you in that moment, that's just a lot of pressure that I didn't expect.
Yeah.
But it's also really good and really humbling and really encouraging and affirming.
Totally.
What about you?
Man, the biggest surprise of this guy. I don't know, you always think of what kind of dad you're gonna be or what your children are gonna be like, and yeah, I just couldn't have asked for something better than him. And the joy and the life and the chaos is also worth it. So I think, just for me, he was most surprised. It was just the life and joy that he brings to our household. If you were going to tell Beckham one thing?
That we're so proud of him. And that whoever he grows up to be and whatever his passions are and whatever, whoever he grows up to be, we're going to be so proud of him and we're going to support him and we're going to love him. And I hope that he, no matter what choices he's making and no matter what decisions he's made, I hope he always feels so loved and so welcomed and so forgiven and so, even when he doesn't feel understood, I hope he feels pursued and just knows that he'll probably be very different from both of us, and I just hope to continue to learn how to love him in those differences and appreciate him, and I just want him to always know how much we love him.
No, thank you.
That we'll just love him more and more every day.
So I'd say my biggest prayer for him is that he would just be a godly leader for his future wife one day, potentially, and for future kids in his workplace, whatever he decides to do, and on his sports teams, and whatever God has in store for him, that he would just know that we love him and support him through it. So that'd probably be what I would want him to know.